So just as a little transition, just do some shaking and start with the hands. This is the one Brenda's teaching, but I used to do a shaking practice back in my 20s every day for a few years for hormone balancing. So, but I just find this to be pretty awesome. It's from Qigong. And it just gets the moving energy, the stagnant energy, the stuff that came up that's stuck and doesn't know where to go. It helps it go somewhere. So it helps us process, digest it by giving it. It says, okay, you can move, you can move. You don't have to stay stuck, which is what we're going to be talking about in a second, because we're moving into the heart. Yay, heart chakra. Which is perfect that we had that nice heated conversation before heart chakra, because the heart is the place where everything is welcome. So whatever you got going on, get some movement in the body. We will be moving after my quick lecture of the heart, but it might lead us down a path, and I want to make sure that we have enough time to embody what's going on there. All right, let's come back to our spots. Yay, everyone. So I guess I should wait for more people to show me that they're here. I guess I can go on too. So yesterday we talked about the third chakra. Today we're going to talk more about the fourth chakra. And where's that little thing on that? Hang on a second. Well, we've talked about, let's just talk about the heart a little bit. We'll talk more about the chakra. The chakra is the place where you've got your two interlocking triangles, like the Star of David look. And the idea, I think, my whiteboard here, in case this is useful. Oops, kind of heavy. I have carpet. Let's see if that can be seen. Okay, good, can be. So, in the heart chakra, we talk, the yantra is the upward pointing triangle, which we also find in the root, in the Manipura chakra. We also find it in the throat. And then we have the downward pointing triangle. So the idea, the heart chakra here, just to remind us that we're doing the heart, is that it's the place of blending, where you've got your upper three chakras, throat, third eye, and crown, and the other ones above it, come in and blend in the heart, and you bring your lower chakras from below the heart up into the heart. So here's where the space is unconditional love. All are welcome here. So everything from below is welcome, and everything from above is welcome. And here's where we can have those triggering, difficult conversations, because there's no judgment in the space of the heart. So an open heart would be, and if your heart chakra is open and balanced, what would happen here in this openness of the heart is that I can hear points of view from all that's above and all that's below and synthesize it. So it goes back to wholeness. So it goes back to a place of everything making sense from a place of oneness. All right. So in the heart, and if someone walks around, my heart is so open. If you can walk around and have your heart be open and not be yanked into your root chakra, or not be yanked into seeing something from your second chakra, and not be yanked into seeing something from your third chakra, or not getting so rarefied that you're seeing something from your third eye or your throat. You know what I mean? If you can see all things from that place of equanimity and unconditional love, then yes, you are actually living from your heart chakra. So if you're looking at the world from that lens, that's when you're coming from. True compassion from the heart chakra point of view is one that hears all points of view and sees all points of view as valid, necessary, and holds the belief and not belief, but just knows that they all coexist because they all come from oneness. If our heart chakra is out of balance, let's just say, and it's, where's my eraser? This is when we want to fill our heart or our heart gets hurt. Because if you're whole here in the heart, you can't be hurt because all parts of you are welcome here. And there's nothing you lack because this is a complete place of everything. It's so abundant. The heart is everything. So there's no scarcity in the heart. Now, if part of my heart's not open, like I have a big spot here in my heart that's I'm not aware of, or it's not willing to play heart unconditional love, then this part I'm going to be seeking, I'm going to be needy here. And I might be looking outside of myself to fill that heart space. That doesn't mean, that just shows that my heart's a little out of balance there. Okay. Let's see if I have anything else to say about the heart chakra itself. We can have it. This has come up over years and years, the idea about the heart, and people talk about their broken hearts. And I got thinking about this and really getting real with myself about it, knowing what I know about hearts and the heart chakra, and how can we really have a broken heart? How can we? I don't think we can. I think we can have a broken heart in that had an expectation that didn't get fulfilled, but there's an attachment. So now it's not really the heart's issue. It's a different chakra's issue. If I'm feeding the perception of my heart through a different chakra, then yeah, I can decide, oh, I'm going to blame it on the heart and say I have a broken heart. But if I have a broken heart, it's not the heart's issue, I don't think. I think it's the issue of a different chakra altogether. Because if I'm really coming from this pure heart, it's about as strong as you get, because there's no conditions in the heart. There's no judgments in the heart. There's no right and wrong in the heart. There's no timeline in the heart. Do I open the floor up, Miya?
Sorry, Jean. I thought the heart had something like 26 nadis that run through it, and one of them is that unconditional balanced place. But in order to get there, you have to balance like all the other 22 or 25 nadis that just pull you way off course, and like it's like. So I thought like it's there, but like there are all these other energy channels that will just like knock you way off course before you can get there, that you have to deal with.
Yeah, and I mean, remember, these nadis aren't just like randomly going only through the heart, yeah? They're attaching to something else. So there's our attachment. So the heart chakra itself doesn't necessarily have this attachment scenario. Doesn't mean other things, because all of our chakras have way more nadis that go through them, yeah, than just, and who knows how many there really are, you know, depending on what school of thought you're looking at. So let's just say that number is the number. But then let's say you just check them all off and get clear on all those other 22, but then there's a 23rd that you didn't even know about, hence the one that we're not talking about. Whoa, and then you go through the checklist of the 22 and I'm clear on those 22, but yet I'm still feeling then we get all pissed off about it. So I don't like to put a number on there because I think it's infinite. And it's this infinite in how many ways we can see. But these chakras, remember, as we have a chakra here, all these nadis come in way more than 72,000. I've heard Panaji talk about, we just use that word, but it's infinite. It's infinite. There's so many nadis. And of course, they're all attached to something else. And some of them may run through other chakras. So that would be then a nadi. One of the definitions of nadi means river or a channel. So that would be just a channel. So then let's say this is my heart chakra with a billion nadis, and I've got this one nadi that it probably even goes up to my throat and maybe my third eye or somewhere else too. It runs through my heart, it runs down into my root, my survival. And let's say my rich partner leaves me and now I start to freak out, not only because my rich partner leaves me and that was my way of supporting myself. Dang it, now that's going to really hurt my heart because that channel runs through here and runs through all different places. So yes, so this idea of opening up the spaciousness that when the heart is balanced and in that place, even though those things are there and we're aware of, oh, I could get pulled here or pulled here, they don't pull us. And that's when we know our heart is balanced. Because if we have all these other channels feeding into the heart, and they're just as equally strong as this one of like, help, help, I'm going to lose my shit, or I'm going to I'm going to starve to death or whatever, or somebody left me or whatever the thing is. I've also got this one here. And if that's as equally strong as this and this one over here, then this one can do its thing, but it's not going to be the dominant force of me. It's not going to be the boss of me in my heart. That's how I look at it. I'll never forget, I was in the room with Panaji, and he gets very activated behind closed doors about the heart. I think he gets as frustrated as I have gotten in the past with people saying, we have tender hearts. I'm not saying we shouldn't honor this, but love it's not a tender game, love. There's a tender aspect to it, but to play in the game of love, it's not all about tenderness. That's just hearts, moons, stars, and clovers, That's the Lucky Charms game of love. When you just eat the marshmallow bits and leave the scratchy oat things for someone else, like the dog. So to be in your heart fully, I believe, and this is just me working on myself and observing and studying and all that coming to the table right now. It's a place of incredible strength, vulnerability with myself, willingness in myself to be myself, willingness in myself to put myself out there without expectation of being well received or approved of. From that place, I become more fearless because I'm not now judging my heart inspiration on how I think I'm going to be perceived or how people are going to like me or not like me or shun me or not, or bring me into the group or think, oh my God, she thinks that and she's a spiritual teacher. How can she possibly be that way? I can't have her as my teacher. Well, then don't have me as your teacher. What if I can come into the room not worrying about not being, and this is not saying it's cavalier or I'm flip or I'm insensitive to the differences and the points of view. I want to create a space where I'm welcoming enough for myself in my heart that all feel welcome to share parts of themselves. And the way I think I present that is if I am sharing of myself fully, vulnerably, without judgment, then people see if I can receive myself that way, then people will share back that way because they go, this is a safe space because she doesn't beat herself up that way, nor does she make herself arrogant or greater than. So back to Panaji. On one hand, he's saying to people, I was in the room, just don't let people walk over you with your tender heart, so-and-so. You got to be strong. And then the conversation continued. And at some point he was like, you must have heart like coconut. You must smash it. It's like, heart like coconut. It's like nothing. You just going to crush it with your coconut. It's like, just basically your heart like a coconut, man. Your heart is so clear, so strong, so on purpose. And it's not guarded. It's not like I'm pushing things out from my heart, but I'm just clear. And not from a point of being greater than. And it doesn't even have to be with that much energy. You know, I can still be soft and quiet and sitting in my chair being clear. I don't have to change anybody. I don't have to agree with everybody to still love them and to still hear what they have to say. But I also don't have to let them crack my heart and make me feel apologetic for where I am or who I am. And to me, that coconut quality, the coconut flavor of the heart comes from non-judgment and unconditional love. That's how I see it. So if you want to invite that coconutty flavor into your heart center, just stop judging the crap out of everything and love yourself no matter what. That's what I got. And then all the other nadis can do their nadi thing, and you're going to experience it. You're going to feel, oh yeah, I feel that, but you're not going to be driven by it as what has to happen and reality. What's really happening here is that person really hurt me. No, you just gave all that prana. We say, you're giving your power away. Well, I'll tell you, when I first started hearing in my early 20s about you're giving your power away, I'm going like, right, like giving my power away, like, sure. That's just, I knew that I was completely in the right by saying they hurt me because they did. And I believe my own perception. And it took me years of embodiment and study and experimentation to figure out what it really meant to say, I'm giving my power away when I say that person can hurt me. Because there were people that actually really physically hurt me. And then I have to hear people, here's the spiritual bypassing in reverse in a way. Well, you could have said no. Well, you did say no, but I still got hurt. And nobody said, and in that position, I did the best I could do and I walked out alive. So that was great. No judgment. I walked out alive. Yay. Could have been worse. Then I had to deal with all that. But it took me a while because I had that programming of being hurt in that way from a young brain where sees a big thing coming at you. I saw something was hurting me. It took me years after and cognitive skills later, and then allowing myself to reprocess my nervous system to say, I did give my power away, but that's the best I could do at the time. And now I'm older and I have more experience. And now when I'm giving my power away, I'm not going to say someone can hurt me. I'm going to own my part of it, what I did. I'm not going back to my 3-year-old and telling her to own her part of it. That 3-year-old left a samskara. Game over. Don't blame the 3-year-old. The 3-year-old did the best the 3-year-old could do to stay alive, period. So when we're talking about being complicit and all that kind of stuff, part of it is just survival. If you got to be complicit to stay alive, you're going to be complicit to stay alive. And that's just the way it is, unless you don't care about not staying alive. And then you're going to be okay with dying. So here I am now. I'm not 3. And I see how much energy, me giving my power to them, because I'm now putting all my energy about, why don't you change? Why don't you? Out, out, out. That's each time I do that, I'm leaking more prana. I'm leaking more energy. I'm leaking stuff out towards something outside of myself that I will probably not ever change. So the more I put it out there, expecting a change, I'm leaking. So to pull it back and own my power and take back my power means I'm going to take it back and say, okay, now let me filter through what I can do something about, which is how I'm dealing with it. What can I do right here, right now, to change the result, to change my perception, to transform something here? because that's what I can transform. Now, when you get really, really big, sure, go out and change the world. But until you can change yourself on a dime, good luck with the world, because it's way bigger than yourself. And you think yourself is a lot to handle? I'm just saying, you want to change some like big karmas out there? Race karma, consciousness karma, gender karma, all this kind of karma. You want to change karma? Change your own karma. You got to be clear of your own karma, because otherwise you will stick to that karma. It will be bigger than your own little karmas that seem really big. Plus, we don't even know half the karmas that are out there and why they're there, nor will we, because we've blinded ourselves from it, because it's distracting, because we're here to look at certain things. If we knew everything, we would be so distracted. We have lenses for a reason, to help keep us focused on what our unique thing we're supposed to be processing is. And as our lenses get bigger and clearer, we're developing capacity to take more in, to see things bigger, but we're still seeing it through our little lenses. Hence the heart. Coconut flavor. The heart is the place where it's already open. This is from my years of experience, and everybody's at a different place in their heart exploration, and will use whatever tools and techniques and information that they've studied up till their point in time. I'm only speaking for mine, but I gauge it against, I take my heart and I say, am I unconditional? If I'm truly unconditional, then I am in my heart fully. If I'm truly non-judgmental, then I'm in my heart fully. Because what I know about the heart chakra, that's the places where the two blend, where everything comes together. All are welcome in the heart. And if I have all are welcome except that part, then I am not really coming fully from my balanced and full heart. I'm coming from my heart with one of these, driving the bus, dominating the conversation of heart. Now, coming from your heart, it may not all be hearts, moons, stars, and clovers results, by the way. It can be hard. You've heard of tough love, things like that. That was something that was, back in the 70s or 80s, it was a thing about, I don't know when it was, but that's an old idea. But just don't judge the way someone is loving you or the way you're loving. Loving isn't about being nice. Loving is about being super honest with yourself and coming from there and not blaming anybody else and not expecting anybody else to support you or to love you back in the picture that you have in your mind or the one that you believed. Now we're not in condition. Now we're in conditional love, and that's not the heart love. That's another lens. That's another chakra influencing that. Yeah. Anybody else want to weigh in on the heart for a minute before I get to actual physical heart? Okay. If you're raising your hand, I'm not seeing you. Anyone? Just butt in. Okay, go ahead. Yes, I saw a hand.
I just wanted to say that Marianne Williamson's book, A Return to Love, for me, illuminated love in so many ways that I never had an awareness of. So it's tremendously powerful, and it changed my perception of relationships and love, and so highly recommended. Marianne Williamson's Return to Love. It's a beautiful book.
Putting it in the chat right now. Thanks, Linda.
Thank you.
It's bigger. Love, it's bigger than we're taught. It's way bigger. Way bigger. I know that some conversations I've had with people, it's like if there's any sense of conflict or any sense of disagreement or any sense of trigger, then there's some people that I've had conversations with that just jump to the conversation ceases to be loving from their point of view. Where to me, the more honest we are with each other, I'm saying that that's even more loving. So it's just a point of view. Because I'm welcoming more and I'm asking more of myself to be present and honest, even where I don't know, and to say, oh, this is out of my, I haven't even thought of that. I don't know what to do with that information, and be okay with the fact that I don't know all the time what to do with what's being offered to me. I don't have to know everything in every moment. And that's my digestive tract saying, I just might need to take some time to let myself digest this. And I'm going to give it to myself. Well, then you're walking away from me. No, maybe I am. And I can be present with you in a different way, maybe. But I can't go there with you because I don't know I'm not ready. And that's then me taking agency over my own process and my own timing, which is the only one I have. This is a personal thing. I just don't like feeling rushed. You're thinking, people that know me go, really? You just seem so fast. You like to rush around a lot. Well, yeah. And the more I stop demanding of myself to rush around, to be on time and to be there for someone and to be this thing out, the more I realize I just don't like to feel rushed at all. And that might be because of 60 years of me feeling like I had to rush around all the time, that I was always late for something, always late to know, always late to the party. And that's my upbringing. I was always the last to know, or I should have known that. These are like phrases that went around. But I don't like to feel rushed. I realize I don't like to feel rushed. And I structure my day so I'm rushing around, and I go, I need to start from part of my reflection over the last, holiday months, when I do some deeper reflection, I go, boy, I create a life where I am rushing, and then I don't like it. And who's scheduling myself? Oh, that would be me. My secretary, Jean, is scheduling for the other Jean, and she's making me rush around, and like, oh, I got to fire her. She's like, doesn't get me at all. No, she does get me. She got what my habit was. So now we're in a retraining period. And she's getting better at scheduling me better. So I'm not as rushed around, but yeah, timing. Just wanted to say that because I think it's taking space for ourselves, and the heart it's a very spacious place. And if we can give ourselves some time and space, you have a broken heart or something hurts your heart, time and space, one of the great healers. Yeah. Just give me some time and space. Why? Because time and space, we talked about it yesterday, that's digestion. So whatever chakra or lens is digesting the information, give it some time and space to do that. And some chakras or lenses digest faster than others. Yeah, I want a new secretary, Anne, when you find one. Anyway, I'm getting one. I am my own secretary. I own that. It's my habit. Yeah.
Jean, can you walk us through, like, let's say, an analysis of the heart and the other chakras, the different lenses? For instance, like, because we say, the heart is the seat of the soul, and so look to your heart for what you need and what changes need to happen, and getting out of that unhealthy relationship that you got out of. Someone would, at some point someone would say, well, I listened to my heart, but then from what you're telling me, like, the heart would is this big, open, unconditional place where you have everything you need, so you would never need to make a change in some way. So how, like, what are all the different lenses that come up and get linked with the heart? And because it was a good thing that you listened to your heart and got out of an unhealthy relationship,
Right.
and then so that I'm just trying to figure all that out. So
Yep. Well, let me see if I have a succinct little blurb on that, or I'll just talk. But I might have something succinct here, or I might not. Well, one of the things I talked about yesterday for the personality of the third chakra, when it's in balance, there's power, vigor, enthusiasm. When it's out of balance, there's lack of confidence, motivation, willpower, determination, things like that. When the fourth chakra is in balance, you've got this love, this kindness, this compassion, forgiveness, and a selflessness. In other words, it's not about only you, but it is, because in order to be selfless, you have to have such a strong sense of self that you're willing to not be yourself. You're not attached to self. You're so, like, there's that light of in the Shuddhi, there's that flame of the Jiva Atman, that sense of your own personal soul. Yeah. But you're so in contact with your own personal soul that it's not the only soul. And you're always willing to, not always, but you're willing to not have to be the one who's right. You're willing to not have to be the one who knows. You're willing to not have to be your identifiers in the space of a balanced heart, which helps us see bigger. And when it's out, then we get needy and we move towards revenge, and we move towards violence, whether it's towards someone or away, or victim dominance. Dominance is more of a third chakra thing, but we start to feel victimized and we start to feel less than, which is also a third chakra thing. Here's where it's not like just one. So going now to your statement, Miya, or what I heard you say is, I listened to my heart, and so I got out of my relationship. And this is, now we're just talking about language. And maybe we weren't really listening to our heart through this particular model. Maybe we were listening to something else, like my buddhi or my higher knowing. But because I felt the sense of compassion and wholeness and present momentness in my heart, then the buddhi could come through. And through my heart, I heard my buddhi, because I was holding the space for a voice to come through. But it might not have been my heart talking, because the heart doesn't care where you go. I mean, it's like, say, I don't mean it like it's a flip thing, but the heart isn't attached to whatever choice we make. The heart will take us and say, whatever choice you want to make, I'm with you. So we open the space of the heart, we get out of judgment, we get into present moment, and then we hear the voice of our buddhi, or our DHI, coming through, and we feel it in the heart, because there's a place of space, not noisy. So we might have a sense of it, but it might not be our heart making that decision. Now, again, this is just language. And so I'm not going to tell someone, if someone said, I listened to my heart and it told me to do this, I'm not going to sit there and argue with them at all, because their experience was dang in the heart. And I'm just going to say, yay, way to go. Because now it's semantics and models and defining of terms. That's how I look at it. Was that helpful, Miya? Was that succinct enough in a?
Yeah, no, that was great. That was perfect. I got it. Created a space for the booty, and that makes sense.
Yeah, there's space for all of it to come in. So if you got a super highway from your booty to your heart, if you got a super highway from your second chakra to your heart, now that's where we can get this whole, like, my second chakra, my pleasure center. Well, my heart's saying I want to fall in love with this person. And maybe it's just my, my sexual chakra, because I've got this super highway and it's really loud right now, but my heart is this spacious place, and I'm feeling my heart, but is it really my heart, or is it my groin that's motivating me? Or if it comes to my third chakra, if I'm going with someone that has a lot of power and money, but I'm falling in love with them, what am I falling in love with? Their power and money? Well, that would be my third chakra leading my heart. Heart is airy, it'll go. It's welcoming. You want to talk the loudest? Go ahead. Let's do it. Oh, you want to blah, blah, blah. Let's do it. It's a big vat of yes. I think. That's how I look at it anyway, and I don't think this is written in a book anywhere, or maybe it is. This is just me. This is my own research on myself and exploring the heart. And I have done a lot of heart searching to make sense of this heart thing, having someone who has experienced the broken heart numerous times and have been brokenhearted and disappointed and sad and all those emotions. And then people will say, well, the heart, blah, blah, blah. And I go, well, how does that even, I don't get it, the heart. So I've done a lot of personal study on the heart myself, just because I was curious. And so these are my findings. So you have your own, and I'd love to hear them when, I want this, that way we can all learn from each other. So what I just said probably won't get in a book, because it's the book of right now, my personal experience. Anybody else have a thing on the heart chakra before I move into the heart itself, the physical heart? Anybody raising hands? Let me look here. Okay. I'm not seeing anybody's hands up. Is that true? Okay, great. Well, let me just stop this and start the recording so this will be the heart chakra part of the heart, and then we'll move on to the physical heart. And then after the physical heart, we'll take a quick little break, and then we'll come back and do practice. This won't be very long. I don't think this will be long. We'll see.